So the story kicks off with George Chambers, a former boxing champ, landing in Russia alongside his manager, Phil, to take part in a bunch of promotional boxing events. As his professional career takes a downturn, Chambers is now relying on endorsements and public appearances to keep things going. So, after finishing up a commercial shoot, he heads back to his hotel. But out of nowhere, he gets ambushed and knocked out by some unknown attackers. When the police show up, they discover a packet of cocaine hidden inside his Bible. Chambers insists he's been set up, but the authorities aren't buying it and quickly take him in on drug charges, locking him up without hesitation. As soon as Chambers steps into the prison, Markov, the prison warden, welcomes Chambers with a lot of respect, showing his admiration for fighters and dropping hints about the tough fight circuit in the prison. Chambers, on the other hand, seems pretty relaxed and sure that he won't be around for long. Chambers just won't budge when it comes to taking a shower in those ice-cold waters. There's a bit of a tussle, and the guards make him go along with it.
Fuck y'all. Heat this shit.
As he's heading to his cell, an inmate hurls urine at him, claiming it's a little present from Boyka. Chambers is really angry and tries to fight back, but the guards are holding him back. He gets a cellmate named Stephen Parker, who's a pretty frail British guy struggling with heroin addiction. The next morning, Stephen gives Chambers a heads up about the unspoken rules of the prison, but Chambers brushes it off, thinking he'll be out of there in no time. The atmosphere in the cafeteria is getting pretty tense. When Boyka and his crew walk in, everyone else goes quiet, but Chambers just keeps eating like he doesn't care. One of Boyka's guys tries to scare him. Chambers acts quickly and decisively, making a strong statement. Boyka walks right up to him, and they end up in a quick fight until the guards step in.
I am the champion.
Later on, Phil swings by to see Chambers and lets him know that the U.S. Embassy is on the case for his release, but it might take as long as a month. Chambers is looking for a top-notch American lawyer, but Phil just gives some unclear promises. So, there's this mafia boss named Gaga, right? He's the one pulling the strings behind the prison fights. He ends up bribing Warden Markov to arrange a match between Boyka and Chambers. So, it turns out that Gaga set up Chambers' arrest just to bring him into the prison as a formidable rival. Not long after, Boyka's crew starts giving Stephen a hard time in the compound. Chambers jumps in to back up his cellmate and takes on the thugs with some serious strength. Stephen tells Chambers that Gaga's crew pretty much controls the prison, and Boyka is the one who keeps everyone in line. Boyka is about to face off with Chambers again, but the guards jump in right at the moment. That night, Chambers is glued to the action as he sees Boyka take apart an opponent in the ring, brutal, precise, and totally relentless. After the fight, Boyka throws down the gauntlet to Chambers, but Chambers just stays quiet. Warden Markov tells Chambers he can get out early if he's willing to take on Boyka in a fight. Chambers says no. As a form of payback, Markov has him scrub the prison's sewage pits. So, when he's having a tough time, there's this elderly inmate in a wheelchair, known as Croat, who jumps in to lend a hand and helps him get the job done. So, Stephen eventually shares that Croat used to be a Russian commando and is now serving a life sentence because he killed a guard while trying to escape. He keeps pushing Chambers to take on Boyka's challenge, but Chambers is sticking to his guns and saying no. Later, Gaga calls Chambers over, letting him know that his options are getting slim. He shares that Phil has been in on it the whole time, looking to make some money from the fight. Feeling betrayed and trapped, Chambers decides it's time to confront Boyka. Both guys start training really hard, so while all this is happening, Boyka's buddies are making Steven, George's cellmate, and cornerman slip a little sedative into his water.
Hey man, who needs?
No biting. No I.
During the break between rounds, Steven gives Chambers some water that's been spiked. His vision starts to blur. He's losing his strength. In the second round, Boyka totally takes control and knocks him out. So, after the match, Croat spills the beans. Chambers was actually drugged. Chambers storms back to his cell, ready to confront Steven. But instead, he discovers that Steven has taken his own life, leaving a note to say he's sorry. Chambers, feeling really upset, calls out Boyka for playing dirty. But Boyka, feeling just as disgusted by the dishonor, insists he had no idea about the sabotage. Later on, when Warden Markov attempts to send Chambers back to his cell, Chambers loses it and starts to brutally beat the warden. He's stuck tied to a pole outside in the freezing snow as a punishment. After coming to terms with the fact that his win wasn't clean, Boyka takes matters into his own hands and takes out two of his guys for drugging Chambers without asking him first. It's his way of bringing back his own sense of honor. So Phil heads over to see Gaga one last time, really hoping to work something out for Chambers' release. Gaga gives him some cash, telling him to get lost, but then one of Gaga's goons ends up shooting him dead. The final rematch is on, and bets are in. There's a real buzz of excitement in the prison, with a mix of anger, a desire for redemption, and thoughts of Steven's betrayal. Chambers steps back into the ring. This time, he's all set, not just to win, but to take back his honor and take down the system that tried to bring him down.